This is the AM News. Details now. The Minister for Communications, Estella Owusu, has disclosed that government has increased rural cell sites from 78 to about 1,500. She says government is also working to get 1,006 more sites built before the end of this year. She spoke at National Communications Authority's Consumer Forum held in Tamale. Martina Bugri reports.
A forum organized by the National Communications Authority brought together consumers, operators, and other stakeholders to engage. Addressing the gathering, the Minister for Communication, Estella Owusu, said the initiatives put up by government is to help promote digital inclusion.
One of the key initiatives that we're currently rolling out is the Rural Telephony Project. And I'm proud to state that as at February 2024, the number of rural telephony sites aimed at promoting digital inclusion and reducing the digital gap have increased from 78 at the end of 2016 to almost 1,500 currently. Work is underway to build an additional 1,006 sites by the end of this year, bringing the total amount to almost 2,500. This will connect almost 5 million citizens who currently do not have access to voice and data services and bring them into the information age.
She said Ghana is partnering its neighbors on the free roaming service.
Another key initiative is the ECOWAS roaming initiative. To promote regional integration and seamless communication across West Africa, in June 2023, Ghana and Côte d'Ivoire implemented the ECOWAS free roaming initiative. Even though this initiative was adopted by ECOWAS in 2016, not much had been done to give effect to it until this key initiative last year. Our agreement with Côte d'Ivoire was the first of such arrangements. And so when you travel to Côte d'Ivoire, you will not have to pay expensive roaming fees to receive calls and messages. And you will send messages and make calls paying what the local Côte d'Ivoire rates are. Similar arrangements are currently being made with other neighboring countries such as Burkina Faso, Benin, and with Togo, we are set to implement this program on 1st July this year.
The Chief Executive Officer of the NCA, JoyNews, said the authority has directed all telcos to present their backup plan to the authority.
The Lands Minister, Samuel Abochie, has reiterated the world's fears that the Horn of Africa may become uninhabitable due to heat waves. He says the temperatures keep rising, and this, according to United Nations, is affecting health, food production, and access to water. The minister, who said this at the launch of this year's Green Ghana project, also said the grey picture being painted calls for all to join hands in planting trees. Another report by Martina Bugri.
The Green Ghana Day was introduced in 2021 by government as part of an aggressive national afforestation program to restore the country's lost vegetation. The fourth edition of the program's launch was held in Tamale under the theme Growing for a Greener Tomorrow. Speaking at the launch, the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Samuel Abochie, said the effect of climate change is already biting the savanna belt.
The climate crisis is worsening by the day. We are told by the experts that last month was the world's hottest month ever recorded, surpassing July 2023, which was the hottest in the last 120,000 years. Worst of all, global temperatures have been rising for a record-breaking 10th month in a row since June last year. And I believe we can all testify to the heat we have been experiencing in the country in the last few months. South Sudan, for example, had to close down their schools due to heat waves, and there are fears that the Horn of Africa may become inhabitable due to these heat waves. Just last week, the United Nations said soaring temperatures are putting millions of children in Asia at risk of disease diseases and death. These rising temperatures have enormous impact on health, food production, access to water, among others, particularly for agrarian economies like ours. And as Your Majesty, more than any one of us can attest to, farmers in the Savannah Zone, the food enclave of our country, are no longer able to predict rainfall. These grim statistics call for all hands on deck approach to halt climate change and save lives and our planet. The Green Ghana project is one of the measures the government of Ghana, under the able and distinguished leadership of President Akufo-Addo, has adopted to curb the incessant degradation of our forests, which has become ongoing for years without any conscious effort to replace them and to contribute to the global fight against climate change.
Regional Minister Shani Al-Hassan Shaibu called on all to help protect the environment.
Let us embrace this moment with the promise to nature and protect our environment. It is the duty of the press to make sure that our voices are heard. What happens here should be out there for others who couldn't make time to be here to be the beneficiaries of what happens here today. Each tree that we plant and all efforts to preserve our natural resources are steps towards a healthier and vibrant earth.
The chief of Zangbalan, Na Jacob Mahama, who represented the overlord of Dagbon, Yana Abochie II.
Now, the paramount chief of Tapa Traditional Area, Nana Akufo-Addo Ashanti II, is calling on the Volta River Authority to consider residents in his area in the VRA Scholarship Fund. He says 60 years after relocating the people of Tapa Amanfrom to their current location, there has not been much development in the area. Nana Akufo-Addo was speaking at the Tutina Festival at Tapa Amanfrom in the OT region.
Tutina, literally relocation or resettlement, is a festival celebrated by the people of Tapa Amanfrom in the Biakuye district in the OT region. Akanium, Ode, and Brewaniasi were the towns relocated as part of the construction of the Akosombo Dam some 60 years ago. Dilapidated buildings and dusty roads are current characteristics of the community. According to the people, they feel neglected over the years as their condition of living deteriorates. They argue their farmlands have been lost due to the relocation. Nana Ntim Jakari IV is the Odehene of Tapa Amanfrom.
Na Tapa de Kudadan. You will cook, you are dying in a mappy. Nancy, you know, by no. A man soon fire dying, you cook for Niadina. My echo, mobile pa. And
we used to have cocoa farms and homes here before the flooding came. The floods took our building, our homes, and all that we had. Most of the family members of Ode became very miserable and died as a result of that. We were not fishermen, so all the benefits went to those who came to resettle here after we left. We are appealing to the authorities to come to our aid as our condition is deteriorating. The farmlands we inherited are also bad due to the farming activities that went on before it was given to us. For
about 50 years and 100 years and so on.
Speaking at the Debar of Chiefs and people in the Tapaman area, the paramount chief, who is also the vice president of the OT Regional House of Chiefs, Nana Akufo-Addo Ashanti II, says VRA must consider adding his people to the list of scholarship beneficiaries.
What say war scholarship scheme bia what the ma wona woni mu ngoma nanso sikasam no abeye bibia wo ho what your list no ma Tapa.
I wish we had a VRA representative here. They used to have a scholarship for brilliant but needy students, but if you check the list, Tapaman is not part of the list. Maybe I did not check well, but I want the message to go to them that Tapaman is not part of the list. Since the relocation was 60 years ago, Tapa residents have not benefited till date, and I want the message to go to them. JT Regional Minister Daniel Machato, who graced the occasion, lauded the people for their resilience over the years.
As we gather to commemorate the milestone of our 60th anniversary, let us once again rally together in the same spirit, with the same purpose. Central to this occasion is a noble endeavor that beckons us all, the revitalization of the former Tapaman Senior High Block into a cutting-edge community library, STEM and state-of-the-art computer laboratory. This transformation holds the promise of enriching not only our own lives, but also those of generations to come.
Nana Akufo-Addo appealed to the minister to consider working on the deplorable Tapa Market Road and other adjoining roads in the area. Peter Senu for JoyNews.
From the Oti region, let's now go to the Ashanti region, where the regional directorate of the Ghana Health Service has taken free delivery of antimalarial medication and other essential medicines from Bliss GVS Pharma. The antimalarial medications, which come in various forms, including tablets, capsules, liquid suspensions, and injections, are to be supplied to rural clinics and CHIP compounds to benefit low-income households. The intervention by the global pharmaceutical company Bliss GVS Pharma is to reduce the malaria burden in Africa. Here's a report by Clinton Yeboah.
Ghana is among the high-burdened countries for malaria infections and recently reported a notable increase in malaria cases. Ashanti region is among the 3 regions with the highest malaria prevalence in pregnancy. Bliss GVS Pharma, a global pharmaceutical company recognizing this, has made a significant contribution to effort of Ghana Health Services and other stakeholders in the fight against malaria. Bliss GVS Pharma Ghana and the Act for Africa, an initiative towards a malaria-free continent, has donated about 28 cartons of anti-malaria drugs, antibiotics, and essential drugs to the Ashanti Regional Health Directorate. The drugs will help reduce morbidity and mortality caused by malaria infections in rural areas. Deputy Administrator at the Regional Health Directorate, Michael Asari Bidiakon, says the drugs will aid vulnerable and deprived demographics who are susceptible to malaria infections.
These malaria medicines will go a long way to support the indigents at the community level, where most of the people who are there are poor. Going into the health centers and the CHIPs, where the most vulnerable are, especially the pregnant women and children. So it will go a long way to support the healthcare delivery in the system. Under GOG, the compensation takes a chunk of the GOG funds. So we are supported by health partners. But the corporate organizations like Bliss GVS, if they come on board to support us with medicines, it will go a long way to support the system.
The contribution of Bliss GVS Pharma with the antimethicillin-based combination therapy, including Lonart, P-Alexin, for the treatment of uncomplicated malaria, will help improve the availability and accessibility of anti-malaria drugs in Ashanti and other selected regions. The gesture, which is in its 4th year, is to commemorate World Malaria Day yearly. Pharmacist at the Bliss GV Pharma, Bismarck Amponsa, says the assistance is part of the company's corporate social responsibility and commitment to improving healthcare in Ghana.
Our major target is those in the rural areas at the district level, community level, and in our villages who are mostly deprived of quality healthcare. If you look at the scope of people who are affected by malaria every year, it's quite a huge number. And because of that, people end up losing their lives. We have millions of people losing their lives every year from malaria infestation, including children, mothers, pregnant women, the old men and old women. And as part of our corporate social responsibility, our country head, Mr. Vivek Patil, together with our general CEO, Mr. Gagan Sharma, have taken it upon themselves to donate anti-malaria medications amongst other drugs to the regional health directorate, various regional health directorates every year.
Reporting for JoyNews, my name is Clinton Yabo.
And it's a wrap for the AM News. Up next is the news review. Please stay with us for that.
Tutina, literally, relocation or resettlement, is a festival.